Hello everybody and welcome to Sunday afternoon fireside concert with the Blaxcotsman. And we're in the Smoky Mountains of North Carolina in the United States. And it is a beautiful day. This is the Meadowlark Motel in Maggie Valley. That's where I am. And it's the back porch. This is our little back porch open air space. So we can hold concerts here and people can come and be an audience and safely sit 6 feet apart and wear a mask and do all kinds of things. We think safely because we're in the valley, Maggie Valley, and the wind blows right through here. So if you are in the area and you want to enjoy some beautiful scenery and some, I think, beautiful music, then drop on by. It's Maggie Valley, Western North Carolina, Haywood County. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to make this public. So hello people watching on YouTube also, Facebook and theblackscotsman.com, which is my website, as you can tell by looking right here. Anyway, if you're watching, welcome. I'm going to share now to J Creek All Stars, because we are here right next to it's actually Jonathan Creek All Stars, which is right here. It's about 50 feet that way. And it's one of the most spiritual and beautiful rivers I have ever lived next to. And Jonathan Creek All Stars has their Facebook page. So we're going to share this concert with them. Hello, Jonathan Creek All Stars. And also, of course, Kilmarnock when you were a kid, welcome. And Rhythm and Flow, Blue Ridge, because this is, I hope, going to be your spiritual home in the future. And then, of course, we will, just in case you were wondering, we are in motorbike country. This is actually Harley Davidson country. We, not so much this year because of the COVID, but in regular years, let me just share this with Meadowlark Motel. Sunday afternoon fireside concert with the Blaxcotsman. That's me. The Blaxcotsman. Fireside concert with the Blaxcotsman. Motel. Alright, so we are going to make a thing of this because it's actually a beautiful day and I can't get any closer to this fire because it's so warm, so it's not like it's cold or anything like that. That was my concern. Saturday night was freezing, actually, so I thought I'd try a new format Sunday afternoon, which gives the people in Europe a chance to tune in, because in Europe they're 5 hours ahead, so that means right now it's 8 o'clock, just after 8 o'clock. So welcome. If you are tuning in from Europe, I hope you stay tuned in, because we're going to do some songs in a second, and you know, make a regular thing of it, because we'll be getting other people to come and perform. Other musicians from the mountains here in western North Carolina, Maggie Valley, Haywood County. There's a lot going on around here culturally. So that's what we're hoping to do on Sunday afternoons, is get the local people more involved. So right now I'm just going to go and get some wood on the fire. Let's see who's tuned. Paul, I did get your card, it was beautiful. Thank you very much. It's my good friend Paul Craddock from Ireland. Well, he's actually from England, but he moved and he lives in Ireland. So he's tuning in from Ireland. Erin Gobra. And Daphne J. Bell from New York. My love, my sweetest love from New York is tuning in. So hello, my love, Daphne. I'm glad you're tuning in. And other people too. So just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And if you want to make a comment or say something, please do. And if you want to tell your friends to watch, you can watch on Facebook, Mike Ogletree, or The Blaxcotsman, or you can watch on YouTube, The Blaxcotsman, or at theblackscotsman.com. Now that's Blaxcotsman. Blacks, spelled with an X in the middle, Blaxcotsman. The X is a tribute to Malcolm, of course, because that's kind of part of my heritage, part of my history too, because I am a black Scotsman. Okay, here we go. Let's put some wood on the fire. Woo! That fire's warm. So we're in the mountains here, just updating you, and we did get snow, and it was one of those magical snow events because it was Christmas Eve, so that meant, oh, Santa made it snow, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to ride his sleigh properly. So he made it snow. So it's proof Santa is real. That's what I always say. And we're going to do a few songs. Scottish songs, because I'm Scottish. So, love it. We're doing some traditional Scottish songs, as well as my own songs, which I call Scottish songs, because I'm Scottish. And then I'll also be doing some popular or pop songs. Not necessarily what you might think is a pop song. Songs that I think are popular songs. Sorry for my license with the language. Anyway, this is a song that I wrote about conflict. And the most common victims of conflict, the children. Oh, the cost of war on the children, the cost of war on their emotions, the cost of war on their future, the cost of war, and that's the price they pay today. Oh, the cost of war can make me cry when I think of a place where the children die, traumatized and abandoned to their fates. We can speculate, but don't hesitate, because the cost of war weighs on your children. The cost of war on their emotions. The cost of war on their future. The cost of war, and that's the price they pay today. Whenever conflict rears its ugly head, let compassion bring in peace instead. You've got the power in your hands. You're gonna use it now. Oh, please don't abuse it now. Then the cost of war weighs on your children. The cost of war on their emotions. The cost of war on their future. The cost of war, and that's the price they pay today. The cost of war is a terrible thing. In zones of conflict, dreams are dying. A refugee soldier, a boy and a girl, violated rights in a violent world. The cost of war is a terrible thing. In zones of conflict, dreams are dying. A refugee soldier, a boy and a girl, violated rights in a violent world. The cost of war. There you go. The cost of war, or as I like to call it, conflict. Because there's a lot of conflict going on, and sometimes it makes it hard for people to express their feelings, their thoughts, their deepest desires, their fears, their dreams. And when there's conflict happening around one, it makes one not able to focus on the things that are probably more important. In other words, oneself. So, I wrote this song, this next song, as a tribute to people who are in that state of conflict and cannot express themselves for whatever reason. It might be political conflict, military conflict, marital conflict, familial conflict, all kinds of conflict. But whatever it is, you can't express yourself. So this next song I wrote for them. It's called Carry the Torch, and it goes like this. Who's gonna carry the torch when the going gets tough? Are you gonna get up and stand tall? Oh, carry the torch with you carry out tall barge. Aye, aye, oh, hi, hi. Who's gonna carry the torch when the going gets tough? Are you gonna get up and stand tall? Oh, carry the torch with you carry out tall barge. I hear a call for freedom. I hear a call for peace. I hear a call for equality. I come to all needs. And all across this country, from sea to shining sea, you can choose to follow, or you can lead. Who's gonna carry the torch when the going gets tough? Are you gonna get up and stand tall? Or carry the torch, or you carry a tall barge? Aye, aye, oh, aye. Who's gonna carry the torch when the going gets tough? Are you gonna get up and stand tall? Or carry the torch, or you carry a tall barge? And when they call to occupy, your fire. We are brothers, man. And all across this country, from sea to shining sea, will you choose to follow, or will you be? Who's gonna carry the torch when the going gets tough? Are you gonna get up and stand tall, or carry the torch, or will you carry a torch? Aye, okay. Who's gonna carry the torch when the going gets tough? Are you gonna get up and carry the torch? Will you carry a torch? Aye, okay. And stand tall, and carry the torch, will you carry a torch? Hi, hi, carry the torch. Somebody's got to do it when the going gets tough. So that was a kind of a protest song for those who cannot protest. So it's a protest for the protesters. Carry the torch. And I'd like to do now a song by a fellow Scot, albeit one from a different time. This guy's name was Robert Burns, and he came from the same part of Scotland that I was born and grew up in, Ayrshire on the west coast. And he lived during the 18th century, and he had the temerity to write in the Scottish dialect of that place, Ayrshire, during a period when on the east coast in Edinburgh they were trying to get people to speak with an English accent, or at least not use the Scottish dialect. So he went ahead, Robert Burns went ahead and wrote a book of poems, or published a collection of poems that he had written in the Scottish dialect. And this was a last-ditch thing that he did before he was about to leave for Jamaica, of all places. And it turned out that this book, this collection of poems, was so popular that he put off leaving Scotland for Jamaica and went to Edinburgh instead and became a pop star of the time and was a national hero in Scotland and remains a national hero to this day. Robert Burns. His birthday is celebrated on January the 25th every year all over the world with a special Burns supper, which we are having one right here in the motel on the 23rd of January, with bagpipes and haggis and poems and singing and all kinds of speechifying and poetifying in honour of our Scottish national hero Robert Burns. But anyway, I'd like to do a song, a protest song that he wrote during his lifetime, protesting this incursion of the English way of life into Scottishness. And he called it Scots Whahe. It goes like this. Scots Whahe, we Wallace blood. Scots bamboos has often led. Welcome to your goody bed, or to victory. Now's the day and now's the hour. See the front of battle flower, and see approach proud Edward's power, chains and slavery. Scots Whahe, hey, 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 hey. Scots Whahe, hey, 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 hey. a knave, claw will fill a coward's grave, horsey bases be a slave, let him turn and flee. And while for Scotland's king and law, freedom's sword pushed on the draw, free man stand, a free man fall, let him fall on me. Scots fly, hey, 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 Scots fly, hey, 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 la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. By oppression, foes and pains, by your sons in servile chains, we will drain our dearest veins, but they shall be free. And play the proud usurper and slow, tyrants fall with every blow, and liberties in every blow. Let us do our deed. Scots fly, hey, 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 hey. Scots fly, hey, 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 hey. Scots fly, hey, hey. Hey there, man. How you doing?
Good, yeah.
Good.
Sounds good.
Oh, thank you. You're going to get your guitar and give us. That was Robert Burns's Scots Whahe. Robert Burns was a poet from the 18th century and
Nice.
still popular to this day. His poems and his.
So nice.
Yeah.
I never heard, specific Scott music, but I said to my wife, is this Scott music? This is so good.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's great.
You go live?
Yeah, we're online. Let's see who's. Oh, there. Can you play Green Grove? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Jane. That's people in Scotland and Europe, you know. I don't think there's anybody from Serbia. I had a friend from Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
He stayed with me when I lived in New York, and he used to tune in. Don't know if he's tuned in. What's his name again? I can't remember. Reg Tate, Scottish people, of course. I did get your card, Paul. Green Grower rushes on. So you don't play, because I would have you sing as a song. Don't you play? Sing as a song. Can you play classical gas or anything?
No,
like
I can, follow you, but my guitar is travel guitar. This is like some Yamaha.
Why don't you give us a little tune?
Hmm?
Give us a tune. Yeah.
What? What kind of?
Anything. What can you play? Can you play? Yeah, this is a nice guitar.
You want to take my guitar and try to follow you again, or what?
If you wish, yeah. I'm going to play for an hour, and then that's as much as I think these people online. But if you want to come and jam, yeah. I have a set, and I can tell you.
I'll wait for our.
Yeah, pretty simple, pretty simple.
Your friend is coming.
No, he couldn't begin. He's Serbian, by the way.
Who? That guy?
Yeah, I said to him, look, I have a Serbian guy coming. He's been here since he was a child, so he's like American. But he was born in Serbia, and his whole family, his mother, father, his friends, relatives.
What's up with him?
Yeah, so it's a pity that he couldn't come, because he would have had. He loves Serbian culture, you know. He's a musician, plays guitar, fiddle, and he plays a lot of gypsy music, you know,
Yeah.
Eastern European fiddle. And he knows a lot of music. He's very talented. It's Martin. Big shout out to Martin V. He calls himself V because he says people can't pronounce his last name. He doesn't even tell me what it is. Yes, bon appetit. So yes, we are at the Meadowlark Motel in Maggie Valley, Western North Carolina. And people come here because it's just so beautiful. Look, the 27th of December, and people are outside cooking steaks for the kids, having a barbecue. That's what kind of a day it is here. I'd like to do one of my own songs now. It's a song that I wrote to celebrate my Christian upbringing. Not that I, a church-going or a church-fearing person. Far from it. But I think back on those days with fondness, going to Sunday school in Kilmarnock, on I think they call it St. John's Church, and on in Kilmarnock. I used to go to Sunday school and learn all about Jesus, because Jesus loved me. And at that time it felt like nobody else loved me. So when they told me that this guy loved me, I was sold. But then of course a few years later on, reality set in. And I met a few other quote-unquote Christians. So, I do have fond memories of my Presbyterian upbringing. So I wrote this song about that. It's called To Victory. Where is my champion? Where can they be? Will you be my champion? Lay on her victory. Everybody needs a helping hand. Somebody say they do, they do. I cannot make it all alone. We all need someone, and someone needs you. They're asking, where is my champion? Where can they be? Will you be my champion? Lay on from victory. If you wanna feel good, help someone. Do that again. If you wanna feel good, help someone. Show compassion when you can. Learn to sing another song. Tolerate difference and find out what others want. They're asking, where is my champion? Where can they be? Will you be my champion? Lay on for victory. Victory. Your victory. Champion, play on from victory. Where, oh, where is my champion? Where, oh, where can they be? Will you be my champion? my champion. Everybody excited for New Year? I know I am, because I get to sing Auld Lang Syne, another great Robert Burns song. People don't know that Robert Burns, the Scottish poet, was responsible for bringing Auld Lang Syne into the world, or to the world's attention. Because he was working on a project at the time to collect fragments of Scottish poetry and song and put them together into songs and poems that would last down through time. These were songs that he had heard in his travels or he had learned as a child, but that had never been written down. So he took it upon himself to do this. It was called the Scottish Museum. And rather than give in to the wishes of the literati in Edinburgh and start writing in English after his initial success, the initial success of his book, poems chiefly in the Scottish dialect, the Kilmarnock edition, after the success of that, he just went on a mission to find and recover lost Scottish songs and poems and restore them, and that's what he did. And that Auld Lang Syne was a result of one of those missions that he took upon himself. Many, many more. I sing some of them, but that's just a little bit of a background there on how Auld Lang Syne came about. There are two versions of it, of course, you know. Now, I talk a lot about Scotland because it's a beautiful place, there's no question. And I'm so glad to have been born and brought up there. But I think I must have a bit of the wanderlust in my blood. Because as soon as I can, I got away to travel. And here I am in the United States. Now, part of that traveling bug I get from my grandfather, called Trapper Ogletree. And Trapper was a wanderer because when I went back to Birmingham, Alabama, the home of my father and my grandmother, and I asked about the Trapper, my grandfather, nobody knew anything about it. Not even his old sons, my uncle. They said, oh, Trapper wasn't around much. And I think I got that bug from him because I wasn't around much either. Sad to say, I was wandering. And it made me really embrace the message in this next song. So I made this my song. I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. Alright folks, after that great introduction, I did forget to put the capo on. So it's way too low. I'll put the capo on, we'll start it again. Man of Constant Sorrow. I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days. I bid farewell to old Kilmarnock, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. For 6 long years I've been in trouble. No friendship he on earth I found. For in this world I'm bound to ramble. I have no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help him out. Go! It's fairly well, my old true lover. I never expect to see you again. Oh, I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon this train. Perhaps he'll die on this train. Hey! Hey, maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger. My face you'll never see no more. But there's one promise that is given. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. Yeah, messed it up a little bit. Sorry about that, but Man of Constant Sorrow, that's my song. You know, really. And here's another one that is a great American song that I think is universal. I play these songs because they're universal, the classics, and it's that kind of message, that timeless message that Robert Burns was able to encapsulate in his music, in his work. So that's the kind of music that I like to play. Timeless music. Like this next song is a timeless song that was made famous by Pete Seeger, written by Woody Guthrie, and you probably recognize it. It's one that I love because it makes me think of my land, my Scotland. This land is your land, this land is my land. Let's get a buzz for here, because I don't remember all the words. It's the memory. The memory is the first thing to go. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Highlands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking a ribbon of highway, I saw above me an endless skyway, and I saw below me the Maggie Valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Highlands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled, and I've followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was calling. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Highlands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. And now the sun comes shining as I was strolling, the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, and the fog was lifting. A voice came chanting, what? This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Highlands, and the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking, I saw a sign there, and that sign said, no trespassing. But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. Well, that sign was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Highlands, from the redwood forest to the red dream waters. This land was made for you and me. In the squares of the city, in the shadow of the steeple, near the relief office, I see my people, and some are grumbling, and some are wondering if this land's still made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Highlands, from the redwood forest from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Yeah, thank you. Great American song. Remember seeing Pete Seeger sing that with Bruce Springsteen and a bunch of other people at the mall there in Washington. Thousands of people. That was a great experience. Okay, so that was This Land Is Your Land. And they're going to do another one of my favourite songs now. This is the cover version. Let me see who's online. Wait a minute. I think we all have the Wanderlust mic, but the ties back to Scotland are strong and permanent. That's true. That's somebody from Scotland, of course. Love this one. I have a great Hogmanay. Hogmanay is New Year's Eve in Scotland. So you say, have a good Hogmanay, because we used to say Christmas was the children's party and New Year's Eve is the adults' party in Scotland. And that is the real party. So have a good Hogmanay next week when it comes. So everybody, yeah. So just thank everybody for tuning in. And I won't be playing on New Year's Eve because I'll be playing on the Sunday after New Year's Eve, because this is the Sunday after Christmas. Well, I'm going to do the same thing after New Year's Eve. Here's a wee song about optimism. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone on the dark clouds and made me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 bright sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 bright sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. And here is the rainbow I have been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 bright sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 bright sunshiny day. And look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. And look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. Oh, 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 I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. And here is the rainbow I have been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 bright sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 bright sunshiny day. It's gonna be bright, 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 bright sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, bright sunshiny day. It's going to be a bright sunshiny day. And today, we are fortunate because it is already one. So like to do another Robert Burns song now, from the 18th century. And this is a song about giving help when help is needed. And back in those days, the idea of loving another man was something that was more acceptable because it was viewed in a fraternal light. So there was fraternal love amongst men, which in some cases could get quite intense. And I just say that because to put the next song in context, it's about lending help to people that you love. And in Burns' day, he loved many of his friends and compatriots that he shared drink and song and poetry with. So this next song is about protecting people regardless of whether they're male or female. You just have to be able to reach your hand out and help. So this one is called In the Cold Blast, in the Cold Wind. So I'll be doing this song Scottish reggae style, which is a genre that I invented. And it's in Scottish dialect. Oh, well, in the cold blast, on yonder lea, my body to the angry earth, I'd shelter thee, all better in misfortune reigns, around the law, the wheel should be my bosom, to shade it all, the Scottish reggae music playing on. The Scottish reggae music playing. Scottish reggae music, Scottish reggae music playing. Scottish reggae music, Scottish reggae. Or when I'm in the wildest waste, say black and bare, the desert were a paradise. If thou wert there, or where I'm monarch, o'er the globe, with thee to reign, the brightest jewel in my crown would be my queen, Scottish reggae music playing on. Scottish reggae music playing. Scottish reggae music, Scottish reggae music playing. No, Scottish reggae music, hey, Scottish reggae. When you're in the cold blast, the Scottish reggae. When you're in the cold blast, play the Scottish reggae. When you're in the cold blast. Yeah, Scottish reggae in the cold blast. That's what you need. You got competition here, right? Well, they'll let him run around off the leash, so. Here's another, sorry?
He wants to hear the music.
He wants to hear the music. Well, put him on the leash and bring him in. So here, Robert Burns also was, so we've done, earlier on I did one of his protest songs. Then I told you how he did a project to collect obscure Scottish music and bring it and catalogue it back in the day. And that's how we got All That Sign. And then that was in the Callbacks, the song about it. But here, he's also famous for being a romantic poet. And right now, I'm going to do one of his most famous romantic songs. Let's see what's happening here. What's up? That dog thinks he's a lot tougher than. Yeah, he wants to get in. So we are a pet-friendly motel, just in case you were wondering. No, there's a great sign up the road. There's another motel up the road that's pet-friendly. What's this? And they're also biker-friendly. So, but the sign looks like it's pet-friendly bikers okay or something like that. Pet-friendly bikers okay, that's what they want to say, but it looks like it's pet-friendly bikers okay. Yeah. Pet-friendly bike. I'm going to get some wood. Because it's bloody cold without that fan going. See, there's another 3 dogs over there. Big ones. Did you see that guy with the big black and white dog?
No, I haven't seen him.
It's a kind of Great Dane version,
Oh, wow, they're huge.
but it's a specific breed. I can't remember what because it looks like a cow, you know, with the markings. The markings. Somebody said a Dalmatian, but I don't. It's not a Dalmatian.
Now, the Dalmatians aren't as big as.
They're as big as a. This is
They're a small horse size.
yeah, they can be. Yeah, they can be big. They can be all sizes. This dog is a hound. It's a big. It's like about this size. I'm not kidding. Over in that last cabin there, you might see it. We've got a guy coming when the weather gets better. His family brought the Plot Hound to North Carolina
Okay.
when they came over from wherever it was in Europe, and he's kept that tradition
Oh, wow.
down through all the years.
They're smart dogs.
But that's the state dog, you know. So and he still breeds them and trains them. So we're hoping to get him to come here next year and yeah, just do some because they're beautiful. We had one here. They're beautiful dogs. All right. So as I was saying, Robert Burns was a poet, a songsmith, and a bit of a lad, if the truth be told. Because he wrote a lot of love poems for the many loves that he had in his life. This is one of those. It's called My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like a melody that's sweetly played in June, as feet on down my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang round. till all the seas gone dry, my dear, and the rocks melt away the sun. Oh, I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of life shall run, and fare thee weel, my only love, and fare thee weel a while, and I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose. And fare thee weel, my own love, and fare thee weel a while, and I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles, and I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles. Just like that. You might have heard that one before, because it's pretty famous. We used to do in school in Scotland back in the day a competition, poetry competition, and you had to learn that poem or one of Bundy's poems, and that was one of the poems that we learned, Red Red Rose. And it was taught. It's because it was being taught in the school at the time. I'm going to do a few more songs and then wrap it up. But next week I will be having a special guest. My friend Martin V will be here, and he'll be singing some songs, and he'll be joining me on fiddle. But he's a great musician. You don't want to miss him if you can tune in next Sunday. He's a great singer, songwriter, guitar player, plays the 12-string fiddle, a lot better than me. So it's worth tuning in for just that. Just going to warm my hands up here. Oh, it's cold. My right hand is further from the fire, over here. So just give you an idea. This part of me is burning hot. This part of me is freezing cold. Anyway, I'm going to do another Scottish song that you might recognise. These are the two songs that I can finish off with. This one is a great, famous Scottish song that everybody knows and sings. But they don't know that the message is about two soldiers who were captured in battle, and one of them was going to die, and one of them was going to go free. This was the cruel punishment that they used to do back in the day. They put soldiers together and they say, one of you is going to go free, one of you is going to die, you decide. And it was kind of cruel. But that's how this song came about, or the legend is. That the soldier that was going to die gave the soldier that was going to live a message to take back to his girlfriend in Scotland. And the message was something like this. You take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland for you. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love wherever want to be, on our bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. the road, and I'll be in Scotland for you. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted by yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of the Lomond, more than the purple hue, the Eland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. There we go. You take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland for you. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Of Loch Lomond. Hey! The wee birdies sing, and the wee doggies spring, and in sunshine the Lord is asleep. But the broken heart, it kens me sick of spring, though the maven may cease their bleeding. There we go. You take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland for you. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Of Loch Lomond. Of Loch Lomond. Yes. Well, I'm glad that you came out and spent some time this afternoon.
No matter what it is.
Yeah, I'm the same. That's why I do it, because some people just love sitting down and watching a live performer.
Exactly.
Me too. So I do this, and we got the space, you know, so, and I promote it, and I invite people to come along, because I think we're pretty safe, you know,
Oh, yeah.
in terms of COVID and social distancing and all that, so.
I would still consider this outside.
Exactly, and the wind just comes barreling through here, so. We feel, I've been doing karaoke here since May.
How
Every,
long have you been over here?
in America, oh, since the 90s. But I'm a Scot in my being, you know, Scottish being. You don't really lose it,
You never lose
the
that.
accent and everything.
Right.
But my father's African American. He's from Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
My mom's from Scotland.
So that's where you get the black Scots.
That's where I get the Blaxcotsman, you see,
That makes sense.
because that's what I am. And I work here. This is my full-time vocation. Help a little bit out with, you know, posting photographs and keeping the boss, the owner, apprised of what's happening a little bit here in terms of entertainment, which this year sadly has been
I'm sure it has.
very little. But he's in New York, so. And when things are going, we have a weekend of events here. Friday night we do karaoke and disco music and games. And then on Saturday night we do live music. I usually have other musicians who will come in and I'll have them perform or we'll jam. And we have a bar. So it's a, basically it's a music bar over the weekend. And we did that all through the summer. May, it's just that it got too cold, so
Did you do well over the summer?
yeah. Well, people wanted to get out, and you know, this is a great place to do it. It's a motel. There are no real indoor public gathering spaces. You can gather outside wherever you want. There's plenty of space. But we closed off the breakfast area, and we had a little lounge there because we just thought, well, rather than take a chance, just, and I don't think we were allowed to open. So people came and they were happy because they got their room to themselves, and we only serviced it if they asked us to service it. You know, we give them the clean sheets and the clean towels if they wanted that.
I still love the place. This is the first time we've been here.
Oh, is it really?
We have enjoyed it.
Well, you know, that's the Wheels Through Time Museum right there.
Now, we figured that out, yeah,
It's right there.
so we may have to
Yeah,
check.
we did a little ride around this afternoon.
It's a great area.
Little town.
You got Cherokee over the mountain,
We rode up to the ski place, and they
Chattahoochee.
were
Chattahoochee.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
He said they were just
They
slain.
were turning people away, so we didn't go in the park.
Yeah, because people are tired of being cooped up inside.
Exactly, that's exactly right.
Because everybody that came here, they were all so thankful that we were open and doing business because they were just needed to get.
This place really got good reviews on Facebook.
Oh, did it?
That's how we think.
Oh, well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah, we do a lot of that. You know, the entertainment here is part of providing an atmosphere. We like to think of it as family friendly. That's why we have the games. And kids love the music as well, believe it or not. And they'll come up, they'll do karaoke. So that's what we've been focusing on, is making this a family friendly environment.
It's wide open.
And it's wide open, you can bring your
Not just
pets.
stuff into it where no outside space whatsoever.
Exactly.
Talking about bringing my grandkids.
We have lots of families up here who've been coming here since they were kids, now they're grown.
Right.
They bring their kids. Do you know what I mean?
Understand that.
It's just, and many of the motels here, to be honest, are like that.
Right.
They've got seasonal visitors who come because they used to come when they were children, their parents were.
Right.
So this really is a family
And it is,
environment.
Maggie Valley itself is nice place.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I love it here. I call this Paradise Scotland, or Fantasy Scotland.
We have a place to beach, so we're glad to go to somewhere else, you know, instead
Yeah.
of it always there.
Is it warm there right now?
Is that Colton Beach?
Yeah, is it warm? Is it hot
No,
there?
it's not warm. Yeah, not,
So which is that North Carolina?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Halfway between Wilmington and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Okay, okay. So
It's
that's not
about-
quite the Outer Banks, is it?
It's, no, it's a little bit closer than that.
Yeah, it's a little bit closer. Yeah, I want to go out.
Yeah, further south.
My friend, she's from Wilmington. She speaks very fondly of it. She says it's a great
Well,
place.
Wilmington's a beautiful town.
Yeah, the beach
It's
and everything.
It's pretty big. But the waterfront area is beautiful.
Yeah, that's what she says.
Our place is about 30 minutes from Wilmington.
That's quite a drive. Was it 6 hours
Yeah, probably so.
out to the
From
coast?
my home here, it's only about 4 hours.
Right.
We live up close to the city line.
Oh, really?
It's all the girls.
North of Durham. That's Durham, North Carolina, right?
Yes.
Duke University Hospital,
Okay.
that's it.
That's in Durham. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're having a good time. Because that's what
I'm glad I came.
we aim to please.
What do you think about the restaurant across the road?
It's top of the line.
We were thinking about walking over there for dinner.
I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's a kind of a celebrity restaurant
That's what we said, it's a little pricey, but that's okay.
because they were in a movie.
Oh, okay.
They used that for the restaurant scenes in a movie called Three Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri. It was called. And there are these restaurant scenes, and it was supposed to be Ebbing, Missouri, but they filmed it here. Yeah, because if you go inside, you see it. It's a gorgeous place inside, and it's always busy, always busy. And you see the cars in there. If there's a car below $30,000, you know. Well, no, you'll be walking over, so you'll be fine. But you definitely get the impression that these are the high rollers, the local high rollers that come here, you know. And you might just see what the parking lot's like. That's what I look at when I say they're doing well, because you see the cars that are over there, they're all these big cars, and it's all like mostly retired people. So it's people who are just living, you know, their best life, as it were, right? Well, go over and check it out, you know. You might, and you can let me know. Yeah, that's right. Let me know if it wasn't up to snuff, then I'll take it forward. So we're going to, look, as you know, we're in a motel here, folks. Let's see. Okay. All right, folks, so we're going to sign off with another Scottish song, but this time it's a contemporary Scottish song. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Blaxcotsman.com. And we'll be here next week. Well, Martin V will be with us next Sunday. He'll be playing fiddle and 12-string guitar. We're going to end off with one that you might know. When I wake up, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I get drunk, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's getting drunk with you. And when I heaver, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. Now when I'm working, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. And when I grow old, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's growing old with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, yes, I know I'm gonna dream about the times when I'm with you. And when I go out, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, Yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home to you. And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. Give it a go, give it a go. Give it a go, give it a go. Give it a go, give it a go. Give it a go. 500 miles.
I like that. That was good.
Thank you. Of course, that was the Proclaimers there, two guys from Ochtermachty in the east coast of Scotland, near Perth. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, the Proclaimers. Thank you, people here in the motel. Thank you for sitting around and staying around. And I hope you tune in next week for the Blaxcotsman Sunday afternoon fireside concert at the Meadowlark Motel in Maggie Valley. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I will start following you on YouTube.
Well, thank you.
That'd be cool. I can say I saw him.
Yes, exactly. I knew him when he was...
That's right. When nobody